Hello again YouTube, Mad Dog here, welcome back to my channel. So on today's little video I'm going to be showing you guys and lasses one of my air rifles from my collection, which I use for a bit of target shooting, target practice and a little bit of hunting when I go up the woods. So I'll show you guys and lasses around that little bad boy. Stay tuned and we'll get stuck into it. Welcome back. So before I get into the nuts and bolts of this video, I'm going to do a quick apology and correct myself ahead of time. I kept during the making of this video referring to some of the legalities as being over here in the UK. So I'm wrong for that. I apologise in advance. Any statement which I've made I believe to be true for England. Now the reason being, Scotland is now under different legislation to us in England, so not the UK. I believe you actually have to have some form of ownership license or some form of license to own and shoot any air rifle or air arms now in Scotland, which is different currently to over here in England. So apologies in advance. I'll crack on with the main part of this video now. I hope you enjoy it and find some of it useful, if not entertaining. Thank you very much for your support and watching. Take care. Yeah. Welcome back. So as you can see on the bench, this is one of my air rifles which I have in my collection, which I do use for target practice and hunting up in the woods. I'm showing this one. I do have a few that I will share with you as we go along, because this one comes in at the low end or the lower end of the budget spectrum. And over in the UK, if you're not FAC rated, firearm certificated, if you haven't got your FAC, your firearm certificate, this rifle comes in at under the legal 12 foot-pound UK legal ownership. 12 foot-pounds being the legal muzzle energy output. So this rifle is made by a company called Cometa, made in Spain. It's a simple break barrel design. This model is the Cometa Fusion. Now this particular model comes in different variants. This is the base model. They also do a model called the Fusion Star, which has a walnut stock. This has the standard beech wood stock. As you can see, it's not as pretty as the walnut, but has the advantages of being beech. Now beech, as we all know, is a very water resilient wood, so should you get this rifle wet, it will stand up to moisture ingress quite well. The stock is nicely finished with some nice foregrip knurling there. The same to the pistol grip there. Overall it's nicely finished. Rubberized shoulder butt pad there. It is available in .22 calibre and 177. This one being in .22 calibre. It has a obviously a rail there for your scope, which is supplied with the rifle. It's a 3x9x40 mil dot scope. Excuse me. You do get the two ring mounts that go on the dovetails there with the kit. It's a nicely made bit of kit. It has this at the end of the barrel here, it has this shroud, which you know, the manufacturers say that it's a what do they call it? It's a diffuser to stop any rise during the recoil. Now how effective or efficient that is, I really don't know. It's a 2.2 break barrel sub 12 foot-pound airgun. What I will say to you is I have run this rifle through a chronograph, and using Premier Ultra Magnum air rifle pellets, which I find suit this gun very well and are good for hunting. These weigh in at 14.3 grains each, and that's 0.93 grams. The rifle comes in at 11.8 foot-pounds of energy, so right under the UK legal limit. So a word of caution here: anybody that goes hunting with one of these rifles, or any rifle that comes in at around the 11.8 foot-pounds of energy output, I would strongly recommend, if you use a heavier round like these Diablo JSB Match Diablo knockout rounds, as you can see they are specifically designed for hunting. These pellets weigh at around 25 grains each, or what's that in grams? Where are we? 1.6 grams each. Now, for beginners and newcomers to this type of hobby, foot-pounds of energy is the muzzle energy, the force which is applied behind the projectile. Now, the heavier the pellet, the slower it may fly or will fly, but the more stopping power it will deliver on impact, which is foot-pounds of energy, kinetic or inertia energy. So the heavier the pellet, the more energy that will be dissipated on whatever the projectile hits. So that being said, when you're using any air rifle, if it is close to the legal limit and you're using a heavy round, go ahead and chronograph your rifle with that round just to double check that you are on the right side of the law when it comes to energy output values. So whilst a lot of companies preach, you know, the speed, the velocity of your rounds, you know, all the 1,000 feet per second, etc, etc, that actually isn't the critical legal statistic when it comes to airgun shooting in the UK. Whilst it does have a factor, don't get me wrong, the foot-pounds of energy is what you will be judged on if the police confiscate and test your air rifle. I know I've digressed, but I like to keep all our viewers and shooters safe and legal. So the rifle itself, as I said, it's made in Spain. Very well made in my opinion for the price. My only criticism of this rifle so far would be the fact that, and this is a trivial gripe really, the trigger blade and the trigger guard, the frame there, is actually a horrible ABS plastic. Now, whilst the trigger brake and reset point are very, very nice, it takes up a very minimum travel, and you've got a real positive brake before it actually brakes, and it's a very light brake, around 3 pounds of brake, I believe, somewhere around there. It's very nice. It's got a real nice feel. If you've done any serious shooting for long periods of time, you'll know what I mean, and the reset is very positive as well. The rifle comes with a manual safety there at the back of the breech there. It's like a 2 pressed steel pronged resettable button. Now, I believe when you cock this barrel, which I'll demonstrate now if I can in this limited room in the shed, give this shroud a gentle slap. I'll bring and keeping my finger out of the trigger mechanism at all times until the rifle is fully cocked. At this point, when you're loading any break barrel rifle or any air rifle, you always keep that 2 point of contact whilst loading your pellet. This stops for any accidental discharges or activating of the spring mechanism, which could guillotine your fingertip off. It's called the bear trap in airgun world. Once you've cocked it, you place your pellet in, a firm grip on the stock, and bring the rifle to close. It's got a nice action. I'll just break it again just to show you the actual breech. It's a nicely made, durable, well engineered piece of metal. Both the breech and the loading port are of a high standard. Nice protrusion on the O-ring. It's very nice, nicely made for the price point, which I'll come to later on. So obviously now cocked, I'm not going to dry fire this, and the safety has now come on automatically. So before each shot you will need to depress the safety. I'll bring it back on whilst I'm doing this part of the video. So I've got just on my tripod a few specs. So it comes in at an overall length of 1140 millimeters. I'll do it in the dreaded the dreaded metric, I'm afraid. The barrel length is 470 millimeters, the actual barrel length. The stock is Beech, the Beech Sporter, this version. The trigger is a two-stage adjustable plastic blade. Unfortunately for me that's a negative, but the actual trigger is very nice, very crisp in my opinion. The safety is automatic. The power, 11.8 foot-pounds of energy. Do excuse me, I've shot this a reasonable amount, but not masses. I've not seen any massive deterioration or it coming down to a stable lower platform as yet. Maybe it still needs some more breaking in, you know, so I'll give it time and I'll let you know in the future. What else can I tell you about this? It's a shrouded full-length barrel and it is cold hammer forged. So it's a good quality barrel. Like I've explained, the scopes are a Hawk 3x9x40. They're a mill dot type of scope. Very nice eye relief on this. Easily adjustable, you know, it's got the finger adjustment on it. So the models, like I say, this is the standard Sportster or Sporter with the Beech stock. They do the Fusion Star with a walnut stock. They do a Premier Star with a walnut stock and an adjustable cheek relief piece. And they do the Galaxy, which is the same gun in its entirety, but it comes with a black synthetic stock, which, whilst I'm a big fan of the traditional wood sporting air rifles, there are some advantages to the synthetic stocks. If you're out in the field hunting, they're less prone to water ingress, they're less prone to scratch and damage. And the black, so you can dull them down and make them less shiny. But for me, that's never an issue when I'm hunting. I take precautions to be not seen by my quarry, so it's never an issue, to be honest. So overall, I would recommend this rifle. The price, here comes the punchline and the positive and the negative at the same time. The price comes in at around £279 to £300, depending where you buy this rifle from. Now, whilst it is in the lower end of the price spectrum when it comes to UK air rifles, it's high enough price to bring it into the starting range of the PCP rifles and the top end of other spring or underlever or side lever types of rifles. However, that being said, whilst I call this the Skoda of air rifles, Skoda used to have a very bad reputation within the auto industry reputation, but now they've been taken over by Volkswagen, and basically you're getting a debadged Volkswagen for a cheaper amount of money. Now, a similar thing could be said about the Cometa. I believe that whilst, you know, Spanish air guns haven't always had a good rep, these have come a long way. They really have. The engineering, in my opinion, is that the fit and finish is good for the price compared to more famous, more comparable brand names within that price range, if that makes sense. And I think these are the underdog, the underrated underdog. I've used this quite a bit. I do like taking this up into the woods, and up to now, no complaints at all. Once you've got your scope zeroed in, pretty much bang on every time within its parameters. It has, I forgot to mention, on the actual scope mount on the dovetail there, it does have holes for anti-creep for the scope, so you fit the pin in your D-rings into a hole to stop the scope from creeping because of recoil. On the subject of recoil, it does have quite a good kick and quite an audible crack when firing this. So if you're out hunting, I would suggest you adopt the tap and move strategy. So I would say that you shoot your quarry and move to a different location, let everything settle, tap your quarry, move again, rather than staying static where the quarry will establish your location. Basically, that would just be my opinion. It seems to work for me. Tap and squirt, shoot and move, all that sort of good stuff. So yeah, just a quick look around it once more. This is the Cometa Fusion, a full powered break barrel air rifle, which is legally owned over here in the UK, I believe, by anybody over the age of 14 with parental consent, 18 otherwise, I believe. I'm sure somebody will correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. I usually am. Oops. Very nice, very effective hunter, great for squirrels, pigeon and all other UK legal game. Good for rabbits at reasonable ranges. Just a footnote on that, my opinion based only, this is really. It's about ethics really, and making the right choices. For me, always have a good backstop. So if you miss your target, you know where the pellet is going to roughly land in a safe location. Only make humane kill shots, you know, make sure you've got a clear line of sight. Don't guess the shot. If in doubt, leave it. It's not worth letting a creature suffer a horrible, slow lingering death. Nobody wants that. Always lock your rifle, no matter what power output or whatever it is. Always lock it, be responsible. Always store your ammunition away from your rifle, especially when travelling. Keep it in a bag, which I've got down here, and only take it out of that bag until you intend to fire it. Basic common sense, guys and lasses. I really am a big advocate of this, you know, and by the actions of a few irresponsible people will spoil the whole hobby for many, many thousands of people, as is usually the case with everything over in the UK. So try and be responsible. Well, don't try, be responsible. Take pride in your shooting. Don't just let it be a pick up and put down hobby. You know, be passionate about it, get interested in it, learn as much as you can about it. In my opinion, always have landowners' permission. If you're shooting at home, don't shoot within, I believe, 50 yards, 50 feet of a public highway, roadway, and never allow your pellets, your ammunition to leave your boundary. In my opinion, never take upward shots. Always take downward shots if and when possible. And just use basic common sense. Use safe handling procedures. If you're shooting close proximity, always wear safety glasses. You know, your eyes are valuable and important. You only get one pair. These I'm closing for beginners. This is just advice from an old boy to possible newcomers into this sport. Looking at potentially buying something like this, because these things are nice to own. Perfectly legal to own in the UK, but please use them responsibly with respect and care for wildlife and others around you. That will be advice from a wrinkly old sod like me. Forgive me, my regular viewers, for the redundancy. I just like to get that out there. So I'll close for now. I'll probably add a couple of rounds being shot in my backyard on the end of this video. I may or may not. If I don't show any shooting with this, and you want to see it in action, I will be using this up the woods very soon for target shooting and a little bit of hunting. I know YouTube doesn't like hunting videos, but so what, I ain't bothered. If they monetize me, they do. If they don't, they don't. I'm not that bothered. Any money I get from YouTube or any profit from my eBay shop goes to charity anyway, so I really don't give a flying one. It doesn't bother me at all. I like to show things as they are. I can't really tell you much more about this. It's an air rifle. Just get yourself something, enjoy it, use it safely, responsibly, have some fun. Be mindful of the weights of your pellets and keep your rifle within the 12 foot-pound limit if you are not an FAC license holder. And I've rambled on, but I love this sort of stuff. You know, it's a great hobby to get into, and I would highly recommend anybody trying a bit of airgun shooting. Anyway, I've rambled on. That will do for me for now. Thank you all very much for watching. I've not got blood pressure, in case you're wondering why I'm so red-faced. Not that I know to. I've been doing some a bit naughty maskless welding for a chap that I know, and I've got the dreaded welder's suntan from it. So anyway, take care of each other, have a great weekend, and until next time, which hopefully won't be long, I'll see you all soon. Mad Dog signing off. Yeah.